Very special welcome to everybody. Hi, Brian. Hi, Becker. Oh, Becker's still coming on. Hi, Connie. Hi, Bill. Hi, everybody. Hi, Susan. Hi, Rebecca. Oh, it's lovely to see you all very much. It's so lovely. And we have just me today. So Kevin is busy getting himself settled in California. So he's making a big move, as some of you know. And he is tied up there at the moment. So we're going to have a very special time together doing the creativity circle. So we're going to send Kevin lots of creativity energy from what we're doing, which I think will be beautiful. So lovely to see. I'm going to give everybody just a couple of minutes more, and then we'll start. So today particularly, we're going to do a creativity circle. So we're going to look deep within your unconscious at the power of creativity and especially how that arises for you. So some people, you might want to have a piece of paper. You may want to have something that you can, at the end, I always keep ways of recording it just available. So, and you may want to sketch, you may want to use other ways of noting down whatever happens during this, because we're looking at the ways that creativity particularly opens for you. So I think you'll find this very interesting. It's a very curious way of exploring, somewhat similar, to the peace circle and the healing circle. So we're going to go into all of that in the way that we relax, in the way that we can, when we're really deeply relaxed, how the most unusual things happen within our body. So I want you to feel into that. I want you to feel into the possibility of your divine creativity in all its forms. Just notice that. So while I'll start now, and while you're feeling into this, I want you to feel into what creativity really means for you. So you might want to note this down. You may want to just bring this to light. So creativity can mean a lot of things. It can mean, art, music, drama. I've been involved in all those professionally over my life. So they've been a very intrinsic part of like who I am and how I create. I used to take teenagers on round the world tours to create art through drama. And we'd put on stage shows all over the world and raise money for charitable causes. So it was a really lovely way of bringing, helping people and art and creativity together. So what's creativity for you? So what I want you to consider just before we begin is, what is something creative that you really have had a passion for? So, for example, I have a passion for playing guitar and music. I absolutely love it. So I do that. So, what is a create? And I know Garth is a very creative artist, and he's about to open an online art gallery. So maybe art's your thing. Maybe sculpture. Maybe there's some other art form. Maybe dance. So just notice what it is that you connect to when you think of creativity, first and foremost. And then also consider, what are areas of creativity that you've never tried and that you've thought you might love to try. So also feel into that. Feel into the way that creativity might arise in your life and the unexplored areas of creativity. For example, my family are all musicians like me, but we have very different ways of expressing it. My wife is much more a classical piano player, whereas my daughter just recently pulled out of playing piano because she wants to only learn off an original piano, composer or teacher. She doesn't want to learn the classical way. And it's she's like a chip off the old block. Like I really relate to that because I love creating from original source. So I do a lot of that kind of work, with guitar and keyboards and flutes and percussion, but all original. So what are some untapped creative sources in your life that you may want to explore? Okay. Now, feeling into all of that, we're then just going to begin diving into this together. And we're going to do that by relaxing and by feeling into what that divine creativity might be. How might we activate creative energies in our being? So just consider that for a moment. I'm just going to give you space to write down anything that might have come up. Just feeling into that with me for a moment. Just feeling into how that might arise. And as I say, you know, for many of you that are creative, it might arise in completely different ways than perhaps just writing. It might be through a visual form. So I often use color a lot when I'm feeling into creativity. So you might hear some of you it'll arise visually in this practice we do. Some might be words. Some might be body sensations. Some might be have a sense of something. So I'm just going to get you to tap into that first and foremost before we begin. And if anything comes up, just keep making little notes. I also dream creatively, you know, so there's many ways that you could. So at night, I actually set intentions to dream creative inspirations. And there are many great inventions that have been discovered through dreaming and lucid dreaming. So I practice that a lot. And to do that, I jot things down in symbolic form. So just notice the way that creativity might arise for you. All right. So now that you're ready, now that we've sort of framed this tremendous opportunity to bring creativity, and curiously enough, for those of you that are into the movement of the stars and the planets, next week we have a full, or we have a solar eclipse with an exact conjunction of the sun, moon, and Chiron. Now, this is a very potent energy around creativity. The solar eclipse occurs in Aries, which is all about creative passion and drive with a very fiery form. So that actually, there's an amazing fact, actually. I'll tell you a little astronomical fact that you might find quite curious. The solar eclipse occurs on the 8th of April. And at exactly the time of the solar eclipse, the sun, the moon, and Chiron will be in a perfect alignment of 19 degrees and 24 minutes. So if you're doing anything around the 8th of April and you tune into the power of the sun and the moon and Chiron being in a perfect mathematical synchrony, I love it when that sings to me. My heart loves those kinds of energies. Then you'll feel into the power of the creative opportunities that are present for us all over the next week. So I just thought I'd mention that as a by the by. Okay, so now you can begin. You can just rest back. And so we're going to take this opportunity to feel into our own bodies first. So I'm going to do a very simple grounding practice first before we get into the creativity circle itself. So you can close your eyes with me. And this is very easeful. We're going to go into this in a very easeful way and feel your feet on the floor. Actually push them into the floor. You know, I'm very visceral, very bodily about this. You know, actually, you know, push your feet into the floor and feel the way that the energies start to move up through the body. It's like you're tapping into the earth, into Gaia, into the power of the earth energies. So you're feeling the earth all around you, including going up through you. I often think of Bill when I start this meditation because Bill has this amazing connection with trees and nature, as many of you do. So if you feel that connection with nature, just start to breathe it. Fill yourself with the energies of nature as you breathe. You're right, this incredible exchange and gift we have with nature, the forest, the plants, the flowers themselves. That as you breathe and as you connect to the earth like this, with those energies start to fill your being. They fill your feet and they're starting to come up your body. So I feel it right this moment, right? I'm pushing my feet into the ground. I feel the connection of Gaia or Earth and Mother Earth, right? That's the mother energy that you're feeling because she's very supportive. Without you necessarily being aware of it, you're walking on her surface all the time. You're grounded as this power of the earth flowing into you. And I always feel a great sense of gratitude. So just bring that gratitude for the fact that, you know, you're breathing this wonderful gift of the forests and the trees. And you're also planted with your feet on the earth, right? Even though, in fact, we are spinning around the sun and the sun and us and is hurtling through the Milky Way, and the Milky Way is hurtling through the galaxies. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Like we are in constant motion, even though we feel like we're still. So I'm always present to that too. So the incredible power that is brought right this moment to just being here. So you can feel the energies flowing up through your body. Now let them flow up and through your body. Feel the anchoring of your feet planted on the ground. Feel the energies in your calves and in your thighs. And as you go through, I always encourage people to pause if you feel any tension and breathe into that area. So I do a lot of martial arts, a lot of movement with my calves. So I want you to bring the energies of any tension in your body, actually bring them present and breathe into them. So I inhale into my calves so I can feel them at the moment. And then as you exhale, let out a release of that tension, wherever the tension is. So you don't need to release it completely. You just need to be aware of it and just open up to the potential of giving space to those energies. Right? And then you continue flying up your body, all the way up through the thighs, through the hips, all the way up through your belly. So the womb area, the chest. You're just pausing wherever there's tension. You're just feeling into that and breathing into that. Oh, it feels so good, right? Just to take some time with the energies that are in your body just as they are, not pushing anything away, just simply embracing them just as they are. Feeling into your chest and your arms, your hands, palms, even every finger, right? Feel every finger. Feel every finger and the energies that go through that. So your left hand, left thumb, finger, next one, next one, next one. You're relaxing, you're right. You're releasing any of the energies as you're inhaling and exhaling. Same with the energies across your chest and down your right hand. Right arm, right hand, right palm to your right thumb and next finger and next one, next one. Even the little one. So you're actually inviting your body to participate in this beautiful relaxation and healing. And then you feel this energy flowing all the way up to the throat, and chin and lips and nose and behind the eyes. And you sit a little bit more upright. So you can feel the energy in your feet now anchored, and you can feel the openness and the relaxation in your palms. And you can also feel this uprightness, this clarity in your spine. Oh, it feels so good to just sit, to be with the energies that are present, just as they are. And you can feel the energies flowing all the way down your body. So now you're just feeling into your body just as it is. And this time into the subtle energies of the body, particularly the emotions. Feeling into them flowing down the body. So you're feeling into the energies of any emotions that may be rising, a sadness, a loneliness, an anxiety perhaps, or joys and happiness. So you're just feeling into where there's flow and where there's resistance. And wherever you feel any energies of sadness perhaps or loneliness, you just pause, you welcome them. You welcome them like a good friend, an old friend, maybe that you've pushed aside or repressed or felt guilty about or didn't want to know. Here you just welcome them. So if you're feeling into these energies flowing down into your chest, so I often get heartache, if I have a friend, I had a friend pass away just a couple of days ago, very, very dear friend. In fact, he was the keyboarder in a band that I played in. And so I loved him dearly. So I feel for him and his family. And he was very young. So I feel that ache in my chest, right? So now, if you're feeling those kinds of energies, any kinds of emotion, just reaching out. So I'm reaching out with a sense of kindness and care. towards that heartache that I feel towards my friend. Just that, just kind of embracing it, allowing that heartache to be present, not pushing it away. So just whatever's present as you keep flowing down your body into your belly. Just noticing any energies, any emotional energies that are present. It's just a very simple practice, just helping to anchor the energies in your body and the energies of your emotions. And then all the way back down to your feet again. So you're allowing this time to really relax deeply into your body and still your mind. Now, as you do, there's almost a sense of us and you moving backwards, falling backwards. Imagine that you're falling backwards into a kind of softness, backwards into warmth, as if you're falling. I feel like I'm falling backwards, down and down, as if I'm falling down a deep chasm for me. Notice how it arises for you. You might be falling down a well or feeling a movement down, falling quickly now, faster and faster. Some people fall down a well, some down a chasm, some into a black hole. You're falling faster and faster into a deeper and deeper meditation. And the faster you fall, the more relaxed you become. So I'm rapidly falling down this chasm. It's like a chasm between worlds. And as you fall, you're aware of passing through all these different levels of consciousness. Just notice. They might be presented to you as images, sights. I often get images. Right now, I'm falling down from a chasm. It's gone into a well. I'm still falling down through all these bricks and mortar, but it's a long way down. And then sounds. So I'm hearing the clatter of things at the bottom of the well, and there's voices speaking. And then notice the body sensation. I can actually feel that sense of falling. Quite uncanny. It's like falling a big drop. And the feelings are open, very open. Maybe you're feeling very open. Just notice what feelings you feel. And then even smell. So I've got the smell, that dank smell of well and water. Even taste. I can taste the moisture. And then you fall beyond all that. So I'm falling down through the space, down through the black space. And now you're beginning to slow. You're still falling, but gently, much more slowly now. Almost drifting down. I feel like I'm spread eagle. I'm falling off over this great vast space, but there's this peculiar sense of slowing, that I'm drifting down a little bit like a cloud or like a petal on a wind. And down far below you, far, far, far down below you, right below you, you can see a circle. And it's right towards the exact center of the circle that you're falling, right towards its center. It is a creativity circle. Just notice how it arises for you. I always have guardians and ascended masters almost holding a whole variety of creative implements. That's how it's arising for me. Like some are holding music, some are holding stars, some are holding all the ways that I create. Might arise differently for you. And there's a big gap in the middle. So it's getting closer and closer now. And the closer you get, the slower you're falling. So I'm sliding right down. And you can see that this is a creativity circle. And the very center that you're moving towards, however it arises. So mine is like a light, like mine looks like masters around a black hole with a pinpoint of light right at the center, but it could arise differently for you. And you're now hovering just above that point or that center, however it arises for you. And with the most exquisite gentleness, and the most extraordinary softness. Like I said, like a petal on the wind, just gently coming to rest. You come to rest in the exact center of the circle so that you're lying symmetrically in the center of this creativity circle, however that means. I'm like in a light body form, like I look like a rainbow light now. I look like a rainbow lying in the middle of the creativity circle. Just notice how it arises for you. And you begin to have this sense of creativity all around you and within you, however that arises. Just notice how it arises. For me, it arises as colors and forms and shapes. It's like the rainbow light is unfolding into a myriad of different colors and shapes and forms. But notice how it arises for you. Creativity arises in all shapes and forms and sizes for us. So take a moment to begin to explore the sense of creativity around you and within you and how it arises. Just feel into the silence and the stillness of that creative moment, that creative space, that creative circle for a few moments. And as you explore that creativity, as you explore that essence, that divine creativity, and however it arises, notice that creative inspiration arises in a variety of different forms. So you might see images. So instantly I say that I can see a country scene and there's a guitar that's playing by itself on the road. Or you might hear words. So I can hear words like mystical, union, magic, creativity, just whatever arises for you. You might feel body sensations. So I can feel a sweep as if someone has taken my heart and has swept it around in a vast circle, all around us, all around every single person here, that we're actually doing this together. That every single person here, me and Kevin, Kevin where he is, and Garth and Becca and Byron and Bill and Brian and Carol and Kat and Connie, and Eve and Janet and Liz and Michelle and Susan and Becca and Rebecca, that we're all doing this together. This is not creativity alone. This is creativity in a circle. So in fact, in my circle, each one of you is the master standing around me. You're each adopting different guides, angelic beings, celestial beings. You're adopting those forms and sharing them with me, for which I'm so grateful. So just notice what sort of body sensations are present. And maybe there's just a sense of knowing. How does that arise for you? So I feel that knowing. It's like a knowing of the stars and like take a few moments in this absolute silence and stillness and wonder to notice what way does creative inspiration arise for you? Are there images? Are there words? Are there body sensations? Or is there this sense of knowing something vast, unknowable, unnameable, and wondrous? And as you rest in that knowing, or that essence, or that feeling, knowing what it is that you need to do, just feel into knowing what it is that you need to do here. Your creative passion, your creative inspiration. My creative inspiration is always to do these kinds of practices, just like we're doing right here. So my creative inspiration is this. Or maybe it's an understanding of what's possible for you. Think into the impossible. Think about what you've never thought about. Explore what might be possible if you considered doing the impossible. Feel into the creativity to manifest in just the way that you're seeking So I can see lots of creative retreats if I feel into this, lots of ways that I'm unfolding this process for people all over the planet. Just notice the way that creativity arises for you. How does it manifest? How does it support this knowing? Just explore that for a few moments in this wonderful silence and stillness of being. And as you're feeling into this wonder, into this beautiful knowing, take a few moments to really sensualize what's happening. Really allow yourself to meditate deeply, to open to this creativity, to allow this creativity to flow into you for as long as you wish. So for me, I'm in the middle of the creativity circle, surrounded by your creativity, and I'm feeling all your creativity flowing into me. And when I sensualize that, it's like every cell of my being fills with the creativity of you and all the masters and the entire universe itself. Feeling into that. Really allow yourself to feel into that, to sensualize that, and allow that creativity to flow into you. So feel what it's like when you allow this creativity to fully flow into you in every way and stay in that feeling. So I've got your creativity flowing into me and all your own lineages and connections flowing into me, and then all the universe flowing into me through you. So it feels like we're all doing this together. Just notice how that happens for you and allow yourself to meditate on this knowingness, on this creativity flowing into you just as you wish, just in the ways that you wish, for as long as you wish. And as you feel into that knowing and that creativity, just as it arises, just as it flows into you, now when you're ready, I want you to gently ground. So I want you to come back down into this creativity circle. Really land, really feel as if your body is right here, connected, feeling these new energies of creativity and power flowing through you. And now feel that all that creativity circle, so if you're surrounded like I am by you as masters and all the cosmos, now feel all of that creativity, every single atom of that creativity flowing into you. It might flow through and into your crown, and down through into your third eye and throat and heart, and flow out through your body. Just might flow directly through your heart. It might flow into every body cell as if it's coming through every pore in your body. So just notice how this creativity grounds in you. Allow that to happen for a few moments, to flow through like an electrical conduit, as if you're magnetizing the extraordinary creativity of the whole universe into you. And as you ground, continue to feel this creativity flowing in you and consider what is actually happening in your brain. We've added theta brain waves when we've brought imagery. We've brought alpha and theta waves, bringing breadth and depth to consciousness as you've relaxed and allowed that imagery, that creative inspiration to arise. It's added this deep, profound content of consciousness by tuning in this way, by sensualizing it. And then to allow this depth and profundity to manifest in the outside world, we've added beta brain waves when we start to share about this, coming back to our meditation and bringing it into the real world so that we live in a meditation state. We live in this clarity and openness in every moment of our day. So feel into this creative inspiration, and as you do, feel into the creative inspiration of the entire cosmos all around you. The right this moment, you, holding the stuff of stars in every cell of your body, are also connected with the entire cosmos, with galaxies and other dimensions in every part of the universe itself. You're intimately connected, and you always have been. And then feel a little closer into Earth herself. Feel into the Earth's movements and the winds and the oceans, the trees, the animals, all of us. And what happens every time you inhale and exhale. Feeling the flow of the forests in the oxygen you breathe and giving back to them when you exhale. And then feel into the energies all around your house, your apartment. Just be aware of the sounds. We've got a storm here today, so there's stormy, windy, rainy weather. Just feel into the presence of nature or your neighborhood or people that are around you. And then feel into the energies of your room. Just become aware of the creativity that's present just in your room. The room I'm in, we do a lot of yoga, a lot of meditation. I do a lot of meditation guidance here, so I'm very present to the creative inspiration and energies of this room. What does the room that you're in bring to you? What's the gift of its creative inspiration? Just as it is. And then feel into your body and your body movements, your body sensations, your body cells. Feel into that. Feel into the creative energies that are now awake because you've been bringing your awareness to those energies and sensations. And then feel right into your heart. Incredible power of your heart that beats and also brings creativity, brings creative inspiration. And then right into the center of the heart. That exact point right in the center of your heart that reflects all the creativity of the universe held in a single point. And then collapse that point into a point of pure emptiness and consider the infinite creative potential that exists right within you and rest in that infinite moment, that infinite potential of everything that's possible in the universe, just simply because you bring your attention to it. As you feel into that emptiness, that infinite potential of creativity, feel what it means to you. In the very next moment when we finish, you could pick up a pen and write, which would be one form. You could pick up an instrument and play it, which would be another form. You could pick up some clay and sculpt it, which would be another form. You could go out and create a new business, which would be another form. You could go and find a new friendship, which would be another form. You could go and speak to the animals or the plants or the birds and the trees. That would be another form. There are many, many ways that you could act infinitely, and there is nothing stopping you. So feel into that creative inspiration of this moment, right in that center point of that 0 point of love and creativity in your heart, and feel its infinite opportunity and possibility and where it wants to direct this creative inspiration. So I know right after this, I'm going to organize a retreat. It's actually a physical one I'll be conducting in Mexico. So I'm literally going to be doing that the moment we finish. So that's where all my creative energies are headed already. It's a 15-person retreat, and it's already nearly finished and nearly organized and ready to go. So just notice, what is a practical creative inspiration, a step you could take? I know Garth is going to go and do his online art gallery. What is that creative opportunity that you're going to take? And how are you going to step into it? You want to manifest this. That's actually the power of the up and coming solar eclipse, the power to manifest this for yourself. What would you do? What are some steps you could take in the next week? I know all the steps I'm doing with the retreat because they're basically laid out. So what are the steps you could take? Actually notice what arises. And then slowly, from that 0 point of love and creativity, slowly unfold this infinite potential of your being and allow your eyes to open a crack at a time while you stay in that infinite creative potential. So I'm literally opening, just for me, I'm opening with that feeling of that retreat in Mexico that I'm running and the incredible opportunities to do this and who I'm doing it with and how I'm doing it with. So I'm doing it with a creative partner, and I'm going to bring lots of creative people, and there's all of that energy. So just feel into your divine inspiration for creativity. How is it awakening for you? How does it want to express itself? And what are the steps you could take over this week? So if take a few moments now, just as you open your eyes and you take a deep breath and they can let out all that creative inspiration and either write down or draw, or perhaps you can make a note in the chat and send it to us, because we're also holding your creative inspiration too, right here. Like, we are your support team. We're your cheerleaders. We're literally, supporting and yelling for you, go for it. You can do this. So write down 2, 3, 4 things you could do this week, and even write them in a sequence. I even write them in a sequence. I know I've got to finalize the retreat document, which I've nearly done. I've got to send it to particular people who are going to activate it. I've got to then talk to the partner that I'm doing this with and make sure she's okay with all the details. I've then got to finalize and there are things that I'm going to put into practice creatively over the next week. What are you going to do? And actually even write down the day. So I know, for example, tomorrow I'm finishing a podcast. The next day I'm sending out a newsletter. What are the things that you're actually going to do creatively to inspire and allow this infinite potential of creative aspiration that you have to manifest? You really want it to happen. Make this the week that it happens. Certainly with all that Aries energy coming up with the solar eclipse, it is pretty magnificent energy. This is exactly the time to be doing, in Garth's case, the online art gallery. So yes, I love seeing Becca's dog. Yes, me too, Carol. Me too. All right. Now, in that beautiful energy of the creative inspiration in Becca's dog, we are going to just take a little time to share and to really feel into each other's creative power and to support it. Because this is really a community of support. Ultimately, this wasn't me doing the exercise. I feel all of you with me and all of us doing this together. And it is magnificent. The energies I feel make me all quivery and happy and excited and moved all at the same time. So if anybody would like to share, please do. I'd love to hear anybody. Just exactly as you'd like to share, whatever comes up for you in whatever way, including Baker's dog.
Anyway, I was just shaking as we were falling. I was like, and then felt like my ear began to itch, and then you mentioned exactly what I was feeling, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go there, and it just was a lot of energy, and then I saw like my as I got close to the hovering shadow, then the other part of me was like a white body, and I just had a red necklace on. And I
Oh,
was waiting to get dressed. And the back part was like the back of the shadow of me. So it was
beautiful.
a time to start to manifest, is what it felt like. A nice
Mhm.
environment, place to go to. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I love that you were as detailed as seeing the red beads and that you know you're obviously going to manifest some. I'm curious, did you get any indication what that manifestation might be?
It felt like a rest, because we just got back from vacation, and it,
I think your audio's cut out, Becca, if it's like that for anybody else, but you said a deep rest. Felt like a time of deep rest, is that right? Yeah. Lovely, lovely. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I'm sure
it's
did your dog go on vacation with you?
no.
She had her own vacation.
Yeah, she's had her own deep rest. I love that. Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, that's lovely. All right. Anybody like to go next?
Yes, thank you, Stephen. I mean, yeah, Stephen, that was beautiful. Yeah, I just loved your ability to take us on such a journey. And to me, what was being expressed was from my heart, but it was a very bright. It was white, as it seems always seems to be, but it was white. But it was, to me, it was the oneness of of that energy field, which is all of us being expressed. So there were, it was pure white, but there was colors floating in at a lower level, like this through my heart, the white band. So it was kind of way out there, but so I don't know what else to say about it, but it was beautiful. And
Oh,
I could feel a glow uh, present but I could tell it was in my heart. So
oh.
so beautiful, beautiful. Thank you much.
Phil, thank you. Your heart glows in presence. I know. I feel that from you. You're our glowing heart, just in the same way as Becca is our rest, you're our glowing heart. I really feel that. So thank you, because I feel that oneness too. When I do these practices it feels like we're doing it together, and I'm often picking up energies and feelings. Like Becca said, I feel into so I'm just simply saying what I'm feeling, and then somebody say, "Oh, well, that was what I was feeling," and that's often what I'm feeling is actually what you're feeling. So I felt that oneness for sure. It was very, very beautiful. Thank you, Bill, for expressing that. And Liz, I'll just read a few things. Liz said, "Thanks, Stephen. I always love this energy. Surgery today, I'm just healing." Well, Liz, all our healing, yeah, especially in the healing energy, I was feeling when I just about landed into the center of the creativity circle, I felt a lot of healing from all of us as masters standing around me. So I felt that was all being directed to you, Liz. So special, special love and prayers for all your fast recovering and fast healing, because I know that's a big, very big thing that you've undergone. And then Brian said, I saw mostly purple and gold light throughout the journey. I'd think blue and then purple would change to blue. I'd think purple and purple was immediately present and enveloping. I'm floating and pretty speechless. It was all beautiful. Oh, Brian, that's amazing. What a beautiful experience. I think that's one of the amazing things that happens, as we move into those theta brainwave spaces, is that exactly what you've shared, that being able to see and colors arising. Yeah, I get that too, the blues and the purples. And Kevin's often spoken about that too. So yeah, I always get speechless too, because I think, wow, that's actually my consciousness reflected back to me. It's showing me exactly what's present, and that I literally am so much more than the body, and that consciousness that's reflected through colors and spectrum and frequencies that's amazing, amazingly beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then what else? Oh, lovely picture from Liz. Liz, thank you for sharing that. I really love that. Thank you. Feel very close to your hand. I'm sending it lots of healing. And then Michelle said, I'll be exploring volumes, frequencies, carrier frequencies, isochronic tones to add to meditations. I'm excited to add heartbeat sounds. Yes, yes, for stronger entrainment and immersion. Absolutely. Oh, Michelle, that's just that's a real blinding piece of insight there, because I actually think, with the heartbeat, I'm often aware when I listen to, for example, monks chanting, that you get this steady thrum. And it's often incredibly rhythmic, and often right around that kind of the energy of a particular frequency, signal, and heartbeat that's resonant for all of us. So we deeply relate. Sometimes you just hear, you're aware of a rhythm in the background that's playing underneath a melody, and you realize, oh, actually, that's very similar to a heartbeat. So yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. Do you want to say
Thank
something
you.
about that? Because it's a
Oh,
brilliant insight.
it's just inspiring. So I was listening to John Stewart read this week, and his Simon Scope and Alan McCusick, and it was just, I thought, what a wonder, I've got goosebumps now. What a wonderful space to be in, to be able to work with frequencies and music, and how lucky I am. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm so excited. Yeah.
I love that. Love that. Love that. And then I got a lovely, funny. Thank you, thank you. Now, frequencies and sounds ties right into Liz's funny comment to me about when I first saw Stephen. I thought, is he naked? With this particular flesh colored top. And she said, Liz said, I reject clothes often. Yeah, I have to be honest and say that's pretty much a family. My daughter, coming from New Zealand, said, Dad, am I allowed to walk outside, bare feet, or can I take this off? Can I take yes. So anyway, I totally get it. I love being natural. Being in New Zealand, I was very aware, Liz, that they filmed Lord of the Rings in New Zealand, and all the hobbits, of course, are walking around bare feet. And I thought, hey, those are Kiwis. Those are New Zealand. Yeah, yeah. Rejection of clothes, good thing, especially when you're in private. Connie said synergy. Just talking this morning to a friend, and yeah, thank you again, Michelle, because I think I'm going to be resting in heartbeat sounds for the rest of the day, I think. Um, Connie said, Synergy, just talked this morning to a friend about a book idea. Oh, yes. Connie, I hope the creativity flows through my keyboard. What are you going to write about, Connie? I want to know. I want to know what the title is.
The title is Love Your Limp. It's something I've been talking to with my friend Todd the Trainer. I don't know if you've heard me talk about Todd the Trainer. And he has a spinal cord injury. So the only way he's been able to walk the last 3.5 decades is through his own training of his body. But he's also recognized his sort of limitations and learned to accept and live with that. And we were talking about, he asked me to co-author something with him a while back about his journey. And we were talking about how he's gone through this physical challenge and used it to become a personal trainer and actually help people strengthen their own bodies. And for me, my limp was my severe anxiety that I dealt with, which led me to meditation, which led me to becoming a Reiki master and working with people that way, and teaching ROV courses. And the feedback I'm getting from that, I don't know, it's just really, it's making me feel like it's something I can really share, but I never would have explored it if it wasn't for my own problem, you know, my own issues. So we both have our own limps. His is physical, mine was mental, emotional, and exploring that and how to overcome. And yeah, anxiety is fear. Yes, I've done a lot of work on that. It's a existential fear of death and isolation. That's what it is. However, it still led me to the tools that I've been able to use to help myself and a lot of other people. So we'll see. I mean, we talked about doing a book, co-authoring a book, and doing a podcast maybe as well. So
Oh,
we'll see.
Connie, I love that. I think you could almost collect people's limps, you know, like
Yes,
my limp, right? Right? And you
Stephen
could,
talked about that very thing this morning,
oh,
about sharing our own stories and then pulling in other people's stories, because so many of us have our own limp, and you can learn to love your limp and see how it strengthens you, or you can let it destroy you, basically. And you know, we want to kind of look at how people across the spectrum have dealt with their challenges, to become
oh my God. I just adore that because like my limp was definitely when I was 2 and I had that lucid dream for an entire year. But I woke up in terror. You know, I got scared of even dreaming because I couldn't stop this recurring dream that happened every night for an entire year. But it made me curious, you know, made me explore dreaming and meditation when I was very, very young. You know, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think now you've got all the chapter, you know, you're almost starting to unfold the chapter headings. Your first one is, you know, the limp of anxiety, or his is the physical limp, yours is the limp of anxiety, and then you start to unfold all of us here. I mean, we've got a whole community right here who will probably all tell you about their limps. So
I
I
would
love
def
that, Connie.
I would definitely be talking to, if we work on this project, and we talked about maybe starting working on this project this summer, and I would definitely be talking to the Raising Our Vibration community about it.
Oh, I just love it. I
Just
love it, Connie.
Stephen, because you and Kevin and Bill and all of you are really instrumental to me.
You're
And
very precious
I,
to us, Connie. You're so precious to us. Totally support. I mean, you've instantly got, you know, a bestseller for 15 people here.
yeah,
Because, you know, we'll all buy it.
nobody buys it. It feels like something we feel like we're kind of being called to do. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. That's a real gift that you're giving us all. So thank you. This creative inspiration circle has really opened up some lovely things. So I'll just read a few others just before we finish. So Michelle said, my feet are always dirty. Yeah, so are mine. So is my daughter's. My wife's a little bit more caring than us, but my daughter and my feet are always dirty, Michelle. I love that. And Carol said, my meditation was somewhat darker, especially with the well parts. I've been getting anxiety lately, which turns to fear or anger. Not sure how to welcome these energies. Yeah, when I think sometimes I often advise people who are feeling a lot of fear or anger to actually go out in a lovely natural space and, you know, plant your feet on the ground, like Michelle's dirty feet, and then feel let the fear and the anger come, and let the natural spaces welcome it too, along with you. Then you kind of feel supported. You're not alone. And I've often did. I remember some years ago, I went through a very big fear space that I had to overcome, and I used to go out into nature by myself for a 3-day retreat, just simply to welcome the fear and the anxiety and the anger that arose with it. And it was just a godsend. I literally, those 3 days were like, man, I did all sorts of things, smashed rocks and ripped trees from, no, ripped too many trees, but I definitely had a very colorful time of being by myself and you know, because you've kind of got to let it really embrace those things. So I do it with a lot of softness. Sometimes I used to do them a little bit like the Lord of the Rings story. You know, my fear, for example, would be a big monster. And then when it arose, I'd kind of rest with that monster and I'd do awful things in my vision, like, you know, what was to happen if this monster killed all my family? So I would then go up and hug this monster and hold tight until, and then, you know, I'd often come out of that actually quite breathless because I've literally hugged my fear tight, and the fear doesn't like that. And then eventually the fear gives in, and then I'd feel like, oh, thank God, that's like feels like that's let off a little bit of that stress. So yeah, that's one way I did it. You know, actually characterize, if you want to put it that way, your fear in a way that allows you to reach out and take the hands of fear, and then actually state it out loud. Say to your fear. Say you've got a fear. My mum used to have a fear of ravens, blackbirds, because one had attacked her and years ago. So I used to encourage her, Mum, actually see that fear. Like, what's the fear like? And she'd say, it's like a little child, because it was when she was very little that happened. And I'd say, okay, just reach your hand out to that little child of fear. Actually give it a name. And she said, yeah, that child's about 6, you know, when I was attacked. So I'd just get her to reach out again and again to that little child of fear. So that's, you know, one way. That's one way you can do it. And then Liz said anxiety is fear of fear. You know, look at the deeper fear if you can. I was okay with the surgery today, but then there was some forgetfulness, and I think there was anxiety underneath. Yeah, thank you, Liz. Then Carol said it's over my housing situation. Yep, there's a lot of us shifting and moving, considering moving. And then Liz said, I've noticed even within the fear of death, that's under that, there's a fear of inadequacy or worthlessness, to me anyway. Beautiful comments from, and then Connie said, for me, it's been fear of isolation, which has to do with past lives and also my childhood and this life. But a good friend and mentor transitioned a couple of years ago, and his passing was a fascinating model for me of how to be present and aware even during the transition. He called it the next adventure. Fascinating. Yeah, thank you for that, Connie. Yeah, my friend that passed away 2 days ago, his unfortunately was he just passed away in his sleep, and he hadn't been that happy. So I really when especially good friends, you know, you're very aware, it touches you. You really touched me, really made me very tearful actually, because I love that particular. Oh, you got Connie put me into tears. Oh dear. Yeah, I feel for, you know, our friends, all of us who've got friends, who've got people who transition. It's a very powerful time. Your friend was courageous, Connie. Michelle, yes, he's quite remarkable. I learned so much from him. Wow, this is wonderful. Everybody, I bet the girl said the eclipse is playing what? Playing nice with me. Not playing nice. Pluto and Uranus hitting. Yeah, that'll give you a lot of shake about, Carol. I truly understand that. That's a lot of shaking with Pluto and a lot of suddenness with Uranus. There's definitely accelerated shifts going on, said Liz. Michelle said Maslow's hierarchy, how to create whilst in that space. Ground on grass. Yeah, Michelle, with your dirty feet and mine, Michelle, it's grounding in grass. I like that. I like being dirty in creation. Your dirty feet have made me think about, I'm going to do that just after this, go out into the garden. And then finally, Liz says, my relationship with fear changed when I realized it's always been the struggle that caused the opportunity for growth. Yeah. The deeper the roots, you know, lovely. Wow, what a lot of wisdom there is from everybody today. I'm incredibly grateful for your presence and for that, you know, that, yeah, the struggle actually gives us the opportunity to grow. And sometimes we resist that growth, but when we allow the struggle to come up and we allow it to birth through us, something completely different comes into being. So thank you for that. Thank you for everybody's wisdom today. I'm very, very present to it. So yeah, happy Easter, everybody. Yeah, Michelle, happy Easter. That's right. Can I have a virtual hug, Carol? We're reaching out to you with a big virtual hug. Brian says, thanks, everybody. Loved sharing the circle with you. We did with you too, Brian. Big virtual hug. So yeah, my hands in love and Kisses and care and joy to you all. So we'll give each other a big virtual hug, virtual hearts. There you go, Liz. There you go. Everybody that needs Carol, all of you for friends, for shifts, for transition, for healing, for creative inspiration. Thank you very much for everything you bring, everybody. You're truly magnificent. I love doing this with you. Thank you again to Garth. Thank you to Humanities team. Thank you to Kevin, because Kevin's also going through lots of shifts where he is right this moment. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is joy, love, hugs, and happiness to you all, and a very happy Easter. Have the most wonderful time, and bye for now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you to everyone.